4 out of 10 people have secretly done this at work. Is it eaten someone else's food, changed the thermostat, or pretended to be on a call to avoid talking to someone? Amy's husband is in law enforcement, and when her husband was working, she was really scared when a stranger knocked on the door and then left a note. But what happened next, I think, is going to make you smile. How to connect with people instead of screens. It's a way to level up your life. And why do we go on vacations, especially as parents? It's because, well, I'm going to let a mom explain it in the best way possible. That's coming up on The Good News Show with Andy, where I'm all about putting a smile on your face and hope in your heart.
The Good News Show with Andy.
The number of the day is
4 out of 10 people have secretly done this at work. Secret. It is change the thermostat. And there's a lot of things we do that we think are secret, but people see it. I still remember an old boss was filling up a cup with ice in the break room, and one of the ice cubes fell on the ground. Instead of picking it up and putting it in the sink, which is what you should do, he kicked it under the fridge. I don't think he thought anyone saw it. So what's that one thing, and I want to flip this around. I don't want us to start complaining about bosses or bad experiences at work, but was there a moment at work that a coworker did something for you that you say, it was so kind, I'll never forget about it? They can turn into family in good and bad ways, but what's a time when your coworker just did the kindest thing for you?
While I was still a teacher at a public school, a coworker one morning showed up as I was walking in, and she's like, hold on, I want to give you a present. I actually bought this present like months ago, but God put it on my heart to hold off and just put it on my shelf until the day he wants me to give it to you. And so the day I was actually walking in, feeling really down, and I was praying actually on my way to work. I was like, God, I just need your grace. I need you to fill my cup with grace today because I just feel really low and down, and it's also the anniversary of my daughter passing. So she gives me the present. I walk into my classroom, didn't know what it was. I opened it up, and it literally was a mug. It was a cup, and it said, Cup of Grace. And I just started bawling because that was exactly what I was asking for the Lord for, and I felt his presence just fall upon me at that moment and say, I'm with you, and here's your cup of grace to get through your day today.
And Joanne, you also passed on that cup of grace by sharing that story today. So beautiful.
You're welcome.
Actions speak so much louder than words. And what did a coworker do for you you'll never forget?
One day he came in with an envelope and handed it to me, and I expected it to be a card or something of encouragement. And here it was $1,000 cash. And I looked at him with very large eyes and said, what's this? And he said, well, I want you to have it. I know you're struggling, and don't pay me back. It's not a loan, it's a gift.
I hope this story makes you smile today.
If you're in a high-stress job, or maybe someone in your family is, it just takes its toll. And so Amy said, my husband's in law enforcement. He's had to work 15-hour days, multiple days in a row, just trying to keep everyone safe right now. So you got to imagine she was pretty on edge when she hears a knock on the door the other day. She opens up the door. She doesn't see anybody there, but she sees a folded up piece of paper on the ground. It took everything inside her to open it up and read the note, not knowing what was inside. And when she read it, the tears started falling on the paper. Someone had written in blue pen, "Don't make dinner. Pizza and salad are on the way. Thanks for all you and your family do." Signed, a neighbor. And that pizza and salad was way more than just a meal on a Friday night. It was a sign for this tired family that they are not alone. According to society, luxury is a nice car, expensive clothes, a lavish lifestyle. But the real luxuries in life, slow mornings, a good night's sleep, peace of mind, people you love, and people who love you back. Trust is at an all-time low. So here's something you can say that can build connection and trust, especially when we were disagreeing with somebody. Help me understand your perspective better. Phones are so distracting, so here's how to connect with people instead of screens and level up your life. Whenever you've got that phone in your hand and someone you love next to you, remember, look at your phone less and look at their eyes more. Yeah, eye contact is so powerful. And it looks like you've got a text from God. Mark 11:24. God says, bring it all to me in prayer. Don't just hope, believe. And what you asked for, it will be yours. Faith doesn't wait for proof. It prays like it's already happened. This was the number one consumer complaint last year. Customer service, and more importantly, dealing with phone tree systems that are all automated now. You can't ever talk to a human. My wife had such a bad issue with one that it finally gave up and sent her to a local place. And then the local place said, well, no, you got to call the 1-800 number. She goes, I did for a half hour. Then they sent me to you. So 2 ways to get around it, and I've used both of these, and they seem to work pretty well. Either reach out to them on social media or try to go to their website and find the live chat option. And I suppose you could probably do both while you're still stuck on hold. Vacations are so relaxing if you're a parent because you're so stressed just trying to get out of the house. One mom understands this struggle. It's your daily joy scroll.
Why are there dishes in the sink? We are going on vacation 4 days. I told you guys to stop using dishes. We are done eating in this house. I will not be making anything. You will not be eating anything. Look at all this laundry. I told you guys, stop wearing clothes. I can't keep washing laundry until we go. We gotta get packed. Guys, what are you doing in here? Brushing your teeth? No. Give me these. I will just pack these right now because if we don't, you're gonna forget your toothbrushes and then you won't have them on vacation. You don't have to brush your teeth for the next 3 or 4 days. It's fine. Chew gum.
You've probably heard that God can provide you a peace that surpasses understanding. But this is also true. I can't expect God to be the source of my peace if the world is the source of my satisfaction. God will use you. You just have to say yes. It happened to me over the weekend at my church. I play bass, and I'm not great, so I'm kind of like the last option. But they said, no one else can do it, Andy. Can you do it? And I said, sure, why not? It ended up being a really powerful moment when I was part of my church's first bilingual service. And the pastor was talking about how there aren't a lot of I was there moments. And he says, but this is one of them. How God's going to use this to reach more people in more places. And in order to be part of those God moments where you say, I was there, I first have to be available and say, God, I'll go, even if I don't feel like I'm ready to go. God's creation is just incredible. So an exoplanet that's just been discovered contains the coldest temperatures ever measured on a planetary body, according to scientists. This is an exoplanet the size of nearly 14 Jupiters, and the average temperature is about negative 125 degrees Fahrenheit, which means it is a few degrees, just very slightly cooler than what's now, I guess, the second coldest place in the universe, which is the temperature my wife keeps our house in the middle of the summer. You might not know this, but it's Mental Health Awareness Month. For me, that's kind of something where I thought, well, I don't really struggle with that, so it's not really on my radar. But I was talking to my wife the other day, and let me know if this makes sense to you. Because we live in a broken world and we're broken people, we're not perfect. That means no part of us is perfect, including our brains, our mental health. So I think we all struggle one way or another. So if you do have mental health struggles that maybe are more visible than others, I hope you take heart in that. No matter where you are in that journey of trying to become whole, really, where we are is point A, and point B is Jesus, who is perfect. And, every day, I think it's just an opportunity to say, God, I'm not where I need to be, and I need you to help me get there.